Okay guys, we're here with another product review. This is a magnetic induction heater kit by KKSEVENS. I'm going to unbox it or open the case and show you all what contents are inside of it. And then we're going to go out into the field and test it out and see how good it is and how quick it works. Alright, so here's all the content. We can start with the coils from smallest to largest. We have the diameter sizes here. I don't have a measuring tape to measure with me, but there's diameter sizes. And it seems to be, if you look at them closely, let me zoom in and show you guys. If you look at each coil closely from an angle, there's two of the same sizes. So these two are the same, these two are the same in diameter. These two and these two. We got those two as well in diameter. So all the coils, two a piece, so it's totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different coils. As far as the size, here's the tool itself. It has a label on it. It tells you to remove it before we use it. You can peel this off, you guys can read it. The tool is somewhat bulky. Got a little size to it, I can imagine, for the heater produced. Has a threaded ergonomic handle for long continuous use. Feels good. Like I said, somewhat bulky. I got fairly large hands, and you can see I can't even close up on it. So there has some bulk to it. You know, I will assume this is not for rusted bolts that's in tough spots or in tough places. This heater weighs a tad bit under 3 pounds. It's about 15 inches in length. It has a 3-inch diameter, and the cord is approximately 55 inches long, or a tad bit over 55 inches long. So we're gonna take this thing out in the field, guys, and see how it works. It's 1300 watts, equivalent to an iron or a microwave on high. It has a 110 cord, can go up to 150 volts with this tool. Also, here are the thumb screws. These are called thumb screws. These what locks the coils in place. So let's go find some rusted bolts and see what size they are before we lock one of these coils inside of here with these thumb screws. I do want to know, it does come with a really nice case. Foam cushion, and some more instructions and tips. All right, let's get out here and see what's to. All right, guys, I got a couple things we're gonna try right here. We're gonna try this. This looks terrible. We'll get it from this end. We'll try this leaf spring. Then we're gonna come over here and try something on here, probably this. Yeah, we'll do that one. We'll get that one. And I got some more stuff over here. I gotta cut these weeds down. We got some good ones here. Oh, that'll be perfect. This is stuck over here. All right, we'll mess with this. We'll try some different sizes on here. And yeah, we'll just get this one. See how that one and that one. Since the sun is hiding by this, so we'll mount the camera and get that. Let's just see how quickly they turn red. Let me get the right sizes to see if we can zip that off. And I'll be back in a second. All right, guys, I got a couple things going on here. We're gonna plug up here. I got some outside cords running into here right now, but I got this in case I need it. Gonna use a 20 amp extension cord. See, these compared to the other extension cords, it's twice as big than a normal extension cord. We got a 20 amp outlet there, but I got an adapter for it. We're gonna use real quick, plug that up. I'll plug that up in a second, but this is gonna allow me to plug up in my 15 amp GFCI there, or I can use that one. This will work as well if I just want to plug that in if I need some more length, but this is a 100-foot cord, so we're good. We working back right there. There's my little station set up here. So we're just gonna use the 921. We're gonna use the big boys just to see how this will work, because right now they won't budge them. I'll show you guys before and after what happens with using this on all the bolts that we try to remove. Even this one's probably not gonna budge. All right, let me set up, let me plug up, and then we'll be right back. All right, so first two things you're gonna try, this and this. We're gonna first try to remove it just with the impact itself, and then we're gonna heat it up if the impact don't work. Then we go to some tougher bolts if need be. Let's find which one is gonna work. Let's try from the small one first. Too small, too small. Let's go next size up. Perfect. Perfect. All right, good. Get that one. Let's get it prepped up. These two slots here. All right, it stops on its own. Let's get these ready. These are thumb screws. Make sure it's firm in there. Make sure it's inside of there. Just a snug tight. That's ready. Let's get the cord ready. All right. Plug it up to the massive extension cord. All right, that's ready. Okay, you hear the fan come on. Let's unplug it first and try to remove the impact. Since we're not ready to use it yet, let's grab our safety glasses. All right, safety glasses. Very important. Gloves. All right, let's see what we got. That was coming off. Let's go on to the next thing. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Press the button. Let's see how fast it takes. You gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 30. Okay, that's going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 57, 58, 59, 60. Oh, this is starting to turn red, not the screw. Although I continuously held the button for 60 seconds, there's a duty cycle on this machine. I didn't know it until later, and I'll explain and I'll show you guys later how long that you're able to hold that button down before the machine starts to cool down, and how long does it take for it to cool down before you're able to use it again. I'm going to show you guys that in real time a little later in the video. Oh. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see. That thing is hot. All right, so let it cool off for a while now. temperature right here. With the fan run for a minute. One thing I want to note, you don't have to press. I was kind of pressing a little firmly on the bolt. You can see it's kind of warped the, these are cool now. Warped the coils a little bit, which is fine. And the sheathing just came off on some of them. I guess that's to be expected. Something getting so hot. It's like, this is the indicator light. I press the button, it lights up. When it gets hot, it turns red. All right, let's remove that. And about the sun here, we didn't know for sure if it turned really red, but that bolt garnered some heat. All right, let's move to the next step, which is we're gonna go for this. It's a large nut, 7/8 inch. Yep, this one will work. All right, let's get the camera mounted. Let's plug up. And let's see what we got. We also gonna check the temperature this time as well. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 49, 50. Let's see what we got. Cooling down, let's see. There's that nut. So we're gonna do it right here just to measure the temperature, how hot it's gonna get once it cool down. Let me straighten this out, guys. In closing, guys, this is a very good tool that one should have in their repertoire, especially if you're a mechanic, someone who's in the field dealing with old tractors and machinery, working at a shipyard, dealing with a lot of old rusted bolts on different things, or just a DIY who does a multitude of things. This is a great tool to have. And although it doesn't compare to me to my acetylene oxygen torch, it does eliminate the factor of an open flame and the dangers of dealing with a torch, especially if you don't know how to work one. So it does eliminate that. If you look at the coil here that we just used, we used it a few times. You can see how it looks after the few times of usage. This thing gets extremely hot, and if you're not careful with it and pressing on it firmly, you can warp it or distort it, but it's easy to bend back once it's somewhat cooled down. I say all that to say, the sheathing material on here will eventually burn off. I don't know how far down it'll burn off, but I'm guessing it's a protective layer on the coils, maybe for when they're on the shelf, because this thing gets extremely hot, in excess of 1,000 degrees. It says 1,400 degrees, but my thermometer only went to 1,000 degrees. With these coils, I'm guessing they're replaceable. You can buy many of these. And another thing you have to be careful when pressing up against something when using the heater, you don't want to press too firm. Let the heater itself lay on whatever you're choosing to get hot or trying to heat up, because these become so hot they become stringy or like spaghetti, and that's what slowly but surely distort this and pushes back off whatever you're trying to heat up. So make note of that, or be aware of that when using the heater. Another thing I want to note, you don't have to use it vertically like how I had it in the machine. And I'm gonna insert a clip right now, because I recently removed a transmission from a vehicle and I struggle with the torque converter bolts, I have to heat them up. This would have been great to have on deck opposed to me using just a focus torch, because I'm going to show you what I did. I bent these on purpose just to see what I had a problem getting this bulky tool down in the engine bay to remove those torque converter bolts. And yes, I could have used this. This would have been handy, trust me. If you look here at how I angled that coil, this was proof to show how easy I could have heated those torque converter nuts up and removed them with that angle. Despite the tool being so bulky, I still had that angle there to directly go or fit on those torque converter nuts and remove them very easily. So when I stepped back outside to test the machine after I bent the coil to see how it would function, it functioned as if the coil was still vertical. No effect on the machine or how it functioned as far as how I was heating that nut or the bolt. I also wanted to get an approximate continuous usage time, and I stole my wife's phone. You can see the time is going on it. To get an approximate usage time to see when the machine starts to cool down, and it was approximately 40 seconds in where it peaks out and then it shuts down and starts to cool down. When it hits that range, or when it hits its peak around 40 seconds, the red light comes on to let you know the machine is shutting down and it's cooling down. As you can see, the red light is on there. Although the red light came on at the 37-second mark, I started the timer a little late. You can see the elapsed time there, and it took approximately about a minute for that light to go off, and that lets you know the machine is ready to be used again. So that was important for me to show you guys that the elapsed time was around a minute as far as the cool down time. And you can start the machine up and it cycles again for that 40 seconds, cools down again for that minute, and that's the duty cycle on it from the usage I've had in a short period of time. Also, another thing to note, these longer coils are great for heating pipes, so they're not designed to be bent. They're designed to be used as so. Inside the heater, for copper pipes, when you want to remove some copper pipes from a fit, this thing gets red hot, so you will be able to remove that copper pipe, or remove the copper from the copper pipe and break it loose or pull it loose. So that's what these for on the lines today, heating pipes up when you're dealing with plumbing. I guess all in all, guys, very good tool to have. Wish I'd have had it before. I don't know what took me so long to get one, but I'm very pleased with the quality of this machine. Like I said, the cons will be it is bulky. You will be able to bend these cords in the shape that you need to use them in the area. However, there still will be some areas in which you cannot get this thing or fit this thing into, no matter how you bend these coils. So I guess that's the con, but it's fine. And like I say, just a great tool to have, and I'm excited to have it in my repertoire. So another thing I want to point out before I close this video out is safety when using something that gets this hot. Fire extinguisher on standby, or some kind of pail of water, whatever you're heating up. You just never know what can catch flame or flame up when you're using something that gets this hot. So always remember, safety is first. Get an extinguisher on standby when you're using this, or have a pail of water nearby to help you out. Safety glasses, safety gloves when using something that gets this hot. With that being said, guys, I'll have the link in the description box. You can purchase one of these things. They're very inexpensive for what they can do. All in all, great tool to have in your repertoire. Go out and snatch one, especially if you deal with rusted bolts and nuts frequently. Hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Terrence out. And for further details or any information you need to know about that tool, it's all here in the instructional manual for this device.